name is Rolanda Mingo. I'm the owner, founder, and director of Loana Samat-Kiki Therapeutic Concepts and Analyzing Understudy Remediation, Counseling Guidance, and Ministerial Care Services, Analysis by Ro. As a generating principle for transcending favorable dimensions on your behalf, I ask that you set forth great efforts in pursuit of reaching your goals. Framework constructed around satisfactory foreclosures relies on systematic formulas and techniques alongside of ongoing support and your determining drive. I will be using planned framework throughout my courses of actions as found to be suitable. Pairing knowledge inside of interface exchange relays forms solid structures by way of set placements, systematic schedules, and aligned regulations framed under the evaluation response phase segment assignments, CAP methods, or compliance attempt processing methods. I am available for investigating how values forms and changes, investigating why attitudes leads into actions and influences, probing into origins, narrating amongst specifics, immobilizing shared interests, creating theories, stabilizing successful recoveries, understanding motives, initializing leadway by way of ideological detours, migrating into commonsensical order, defining irrational thoughts and behaviors, frontlining hurtfully engaged motivations, building rewarding productions, understanding causes into effects, simplifying, modeling and remodeling, resurfacing among hidden truths, identifying abnormalities, separating prolonged agony from what's realistic, building healthy metabolisms, and circulating among healthy constructions into favorable gain. By signing on as a self-assigned outpatient seeking guidance under my care, you are agreeing to have your concerns investigated according to necessaries of contingencies. You understand I will not be held reliable by any means relative to behaviors infused through performed actions outside of responsible environments. You understand I am available in order to provide enhancements into ways of life through patternized adjustments, which perhaps could build methods of control based on self-reliant motives. You agree to be honest and honestly share necessary input for aiding and gainful knowledge into clearer developments. You understand there is a time cap into production based on favorable closing summaries. You understand if you have not completed your compliance attempt per session assignment within 8 weeks of your planning review schedule, your process will be summarized and foreclosed based on recounts into summed discussions. You understand underlying criteria for moving forward into the recovery summary update process. You agree to be honest. You agree to be fair. You will not hold me or my affiliated associates accountable for your outcomes, conduct, or affairs pertaining to your driven interests. You accept this welcome. I hope this will be a journey worthwhile. I hope we conquer your destiny. I hope you find clarity into that which you seek support into. I hope this is the beginning of a never-ending friendship. As your soul connection therapist. I take your concerns into great consideration. I vow to servicing you, and I take your best interest into highest regard. I ask that confidence be placed in me as your spiritual advisor. I ask that you grant me opportunities for reaching into areas that opens expressions into your program. I ask that you provide me with your undivided attention and utmost respect. I ask that you honor this attempt as an advancement. I ask that you be honest at all times. I ask that you be fair in accepting my judgments. I ask that you take full responsibility for all of your actions, present, past, and future, or into the future, or into future withholding. I ask that you accept this opportunity as a chosen drive for enhancing your well-being. As Loana Samak Kiki Therapeutic Concepts and Analyzing Understudy Remediation, Counseling, Guidance, and Ministerial Care Services, Analysis by Ro Soul Connection Therapist, I'm available for guiding unfavorable situations and circumstances towards tolerable stages, for narrating into building spiritual inclines, for building strength, for identifying influences, for penetrating knowledge into actions, for categorizing among personal gatherings, for understanding from individual points of view, for regulating standards among personal environments, for adjusting visions by way of learned strategies, for building concrete evidence inside of personal existences, for defining whom as an individual, for generating truthful understanding, for gradually forming normalcy inside of abnormality, for surfacing and resurfacing awareness, for setting forth aims, for building within scheduled training, for building production into motives, for securing obligatory management among set environments, for advancing inside of imaginations, for patterning leadway towards desires, for structuring enhancements, for centering causes and effects relative to abnormalities, for enhancing characters outside of driven fragments, for examining fears and fear-causing congestions, for relishing peace, for enhancing physical appearances and performances, for settling scores which build inner purposes, for framing responsibilities inside of gathered unions, for structuring withholdings among misunderstood and uncontrolled placements, for working with others by way of observance, for establishing meaningful grounds, for encouraging life driven through faith and absent flesh-bearing authoritarianships, for setting a pace of consistency into resurrected contentment, for safeguarding parental steering as a lifelong commitment, things I can help you with: general aspects of life such as organizational skills, financial stability, goal setting, family planning, to name a few. Personal concerns, uncertainties, family matters, depression, relationships, substance abuse, stressful endurances, confusion, suicidal thoughts, confessions, sleep impairments, weight management, pain management. Sought peace. My Analysis by Ro studio is available in order to free the minds of those that want to be released, to comprehend with those that want to be understood, to surface progressively among realities of those that want to be and do better, to accommodate those that want to voice, and to focus on roots based on acknowledgments into mishaps among the lives of those that reach out. Absorbing concepts into the client's best interest, building character in others, improving others morally, encouraging the hearts of others, directing the attention of others towards a heavenly outreach stance. Loana Therapeutic Concepts and Analyzing, Understudy Remediation, Counseling, Guidance, and Ministerial Care Services Studio, Analysis by Ro, is a self-assigned outpatient counseling and guidance care establishment designed to deal with a number of characteristically disoriented afflictions relative to uneasy mindsets, control loss, lack of interest, actions brought on by way of sudden impulses, prolonged agitations, prematurity, and fears, to name a few. Planning frames under regulatory guidelines and systematic protocols as found to be suitable. Access is available through plan propositions as assigned under established guidelines, intake regulations, and the nature of initialized attempts. Procedural intercourses generates horizons based on persisting efforts through self-assigned outpatient outreach. Service planning frames inside of motives revolved around individual interests and attempts into progressive manifolds. Faith-based intuitions serves as an underlining resource into reliances. I will rely on you just as much as you should anticipate relying on me. I am available to work with you as your soul connection therapist. Opportunities are available, however, advancement solely depends on an individualized will to grow. Utilizing access framed inside of allotted timescales for corresponding effectively based on concrete evidence into investigations comes by way of driven efforts into pursuits. I'm available for protecting and supporting you, your family, and relations inside of your personal circles. Systematic planning conveniently combines inside of conjunctive pairing for stabilizing personal constructions aligned inside of remedial reform. Through self-guidance generated under short-term outpatient supervision care, mishaps, letdowns, downfalls, and downtrodden images brought into course while trying to find placement by way of prematurity through lack of knowledge and under the conveyance of rush judgment can be uprooted, frontlined, centered, and restored. And life can be revived within as early as 8 weeks, guaranteed. Underlined reasoning aspects. Renewing life with meaning. Loving with understanding. Feeling good within honest and sound unions. Learning with natural abilities. Struggling without shame. And maintaining within a peaceful composure. I will not be held reliable for or allow any derogatory actions or behaviors inside or outside of my responsible environments. All guidance, information shared, and advice given is based on individualized input generated through trusted qualities. All systematically generated output is based on opinionated insights relative to matters presented beforehand. All advice received or given should be interpreted based on comprehensible knowledge relative to professional judgments revolved around corresponding interpretations. All performances should be responsibly considered as a driven arrangement into personal gain revolved around positive manifestations. All information shared will be kept confidential unless otherwise instructed through verbal or written consent. All written and recorded documentations obtained while undergoing supervision under my care will be kept private. Your privacy will be respected. Under terms, conditions, and this commitment, you accept and honor ongoing demands as a driven opportunity for benefiting your best interests based on your concerns, situational circumstances, efforts, and pursuits into expected outcomes. You understand this is a choice. This is your choice. Moving forward is a great idea. Thanks for granting me the opportunity in order to help you reach your goals. I'm available for broadening horizons as a driven favor. Aims into progressive attempts, Loanna Samaki Key Therapeutic Concepts in Analyzing Understudy Remediation, Counseling, Guidance, and Ministerial Care Services, Signature ADCD Method. Acknowledge. Together we will recognize acceptances into realizations. Define. Together we will clearly establish grounds towards specifics. Calculate. Together we will estimate figures based on presumptive measures. Direct. Together we will manage personal emphasis into explanations. Planning into proposals. Loanna Samaki Key Therapeutic Concepts in Analyzing Understudy Remediation, Counseling, Guidance, and Ministerial Care Services, Signature IODP Method. Input. Together we will deliberate based on incoming data. Output. Together we will deliberate based on outgoing interface exchange per session pools. Determine and drive. Together we will settle favorably among resolutions into conclusions. Provoked energy. Together we will penetrate concentration inside of motives for transfusing adequate relief. Contouring developments into patterns has been meaningfully grounded inside of remedial guidance and serves as resourceful dynamics into common findings as they are declared useful. Contouring developments into patterns are also referred to as retopics. Retopics are used as demographic categorical aids among structural turning peaks relative to ongoing demands and challenged offsets. As indentions systematically correlates within observatory determinants into research management areas and based on comprehensive defaults, awareness identifies characterizations as found to be suitable, which allows course intervention leadway for prepositioning stability under more diverse graphs. Loanna Samaki Key Therapeutic Concepts in Analyzing Understudy Remediation, Counseling, Guidance, and Ministerial Care Services, Signature Contouring Developments into Patterns. Restore, renew, refocus, replenish, rejoice, respect, rejoin, relay, repent, rekindle, reward, relax, restart, reinvent, redefine, recapture, rewind, regain, repeat, refute, reboot, reimburse, rebirth, rethink, revive, reboot, rebuild, retrace, reconsider, reframe, reconstruct, restructure, repair, relate, research, release, realign, redesign, and realize. Loana Samat-Kiki Therapeutic Concepts in Analyzing Understudy Remediation, Counseling Guidance, and Ministerial Care Services Signature 5-Step Remedial Outline Advancement Guide sets forth an allegiance for planning, building understanding, and compiling plan strategies into a satisfactory foreclosure review summary guide. Being that the brain absorbs helpful and harmful contents naturally and based on embedded nourishment, the obvious is not always the generating, indented, or apparent perception underlying realities built around ongoing involvement. It isn't until basement into concepts are worthy of belief, which obvious correlations takes course for calculating aspects revolved around fundamental attributes. Imaginary visualizations typically generates marginal acceptances among suitable placements based on usualities and as a general principle into soothing effects. Opposed narrations among psychological traits generally matures once speculations into drawn concepts are narrowed inside of more perplexed translations. Allowances running concurrent with intellectual responses therefore impress greater emphasis in regards to the importance of engaged interest. Despite over-assertions found by way of visual judgments, laddening upon notice of rushed intermissions, and upon receipt into clearer knowledge relative to benefactors revolved around drawn responsibilities, endeavored consequences into growth, expansions, forms simultaneously. Theoretically speaking, open enhancements, absent accumulated knowledge, generally draws into problematic realms. Uprooting key elements pertaining to such findings is the main objective for outlining out-of-character delightment under order framed through systematic processing, for generating adequate understudy guidance. For outpatients seeking support care of my assistance. The FSTROA guide sets forth an allegiance. The FSTROA guide, step 1, approach. Incline yourself. Set placement. Course centralized formations. Enforce structural forms. And enlighten ongoing requisitions. Step 2, observe. Truthfully differ remains. Visually speculate. Submerge wonder. Draw beyond aspirations. And point out reasoning aspects. Step 3, define. Get to know underlying details. Understand existences. Narrate among centerfolds. And study based on facts. Step 4, nullify. Weigh and measure. Course inside of contemplations. Acknowledge differences. Gather consciousness based on details. And address doubts. And step 5, decide. Determine on individual terms. Litigate based on an assurance. And settle within substantial opinions. section summary report serves as a compilation for gathering accurate details into causes and effects pertaining to situations and circumstances under review. Why is it important to notify the quorum within 24 hours after receiving a PSR notice? It is vital for notifying the quorum within 24 hours after receiving a PSR notice because arrangements under this outgoing response consultation alert combines solutions into subjectives and stabilizes order into foreclosure reviews. If a PSR alert has been forwarded from the quorum, there has been an apparent offset into findings. Postponing feedback will result in a delay of processing. Will I be charged usage out of my tri-weekly privilege allowances if I respond to a PSR alert and it escalates into a message relay? No, configurations framed inside of this report are designed in order to set a course into plan proposals, summarize negotiations, outline comprehensive data, combine brief statements, conclude results, detail orientations, baseline key elements, and generate concise overviews. There will be no usage deductions consumed for responding to a data request submitted through the PSR notification console profile. If such actions develops into an open debate, PSR would be the identifying consultation subject heading used throughout these courses of action in order to assure a no-charge quorum submit.